In the NFL 2022 draft, in the sixth round, at pick 182, the New York Giants select linebacker Darrian Beavers, Cincinnati. Some people have him listed as an outside linebacker, some inside linebacker. It depends on what articles you're reading, but everybody's basically saying the same thing on this kid. Developmental, could be a contributor to special teams. We're going to find out here. Let's delve into this. No more waiting. Good Thursday morning to y'all. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, ring that bell, get notified when I go live. I'm trying to keep this series up and do it, or you got something at like 7 in the morning, just something to start your day with, a little bit more information to enlighten us on our chats that we have in the evening. Appreciate you being here. Let's look at his stats. He spent 2 years at Connecticut, 3 years at Cincinnati. This is a 5-year player. Now, he did put on 100 pounds from high school. So he's been working up to this position. He played wide receiver, running back. Pretty big boy, so they bumped him up to linebacker, and he's transitioned well if you look at the numbers. Because in 2017, he only had 9 solo tackles, but in 2021, he had 46. Each year, he progressed. 9, 15, 21, 38, 46. Hut, yeah. The old days of football. Total tackles, 230. I'm not worried about wear and tear on this kid. You'd think a 5-year vet, maybe injury concerns. I haven't found anything. No injury concerns. Excessive high tackles. Generally an all-around good player. Again, talent level. High upside right here. He's continued to improve. Each year, get better. And I'm going to read some things here that y'all are going to be kind of interested in. And as you can see, in his last 2 years at Cincinnati, he had a couple of passes defended. Well, yeah, he's got a couple interceptions too. His last couple of years, he had 3 interceptions. He had 5 pass defended. They were starting to utilize him in the passing game a little bit. All right, so he improved that much where he didn't give up a touchdown or anything like that. So upside, I like the upside that this kid's going to bring to camp. Definitely going to be fighting for a spot. It might be on special teams to start with, but he's got a chance. So, as we look, what's going on with this? Pretty good size. 6'3¾", 237 pounds. His hands are 9 3/4. Arms are 32 3/8. He's got an 80 and 5/8 wingspan. That's over 80 and a half inches. 40 yard, he didn't participate, but in the 3-cone, he did 6.91. Shuttle didn't. Vertical, 36 and a half. Broad jump, 10.5. Some athleticism. Here we're going to go into his positives. He's lightning fast, mental trigger, able to identify and adjust to all kinds of running concepts, as well as gain proper depth and spacing when he sees a pass. Instinctive. He's got instincts. Plays with all 250 pounds behind his pads. Shows great strength both when he can get a full head on steam as well as when he needs to play slower and take on blocks without momentum. All right, solid physical player. Long arms and a head-on-fire mentality often give him the first punch when engaging the offensive lineman. Aggressiveness, I like it. He constantly sheds blocks at the second level and at the line of scrimmage. Sheds blocks, that's what you want. You want that guy off you. If this guy could do it, okay. I can see why the Giants are looking at him at the 6th round. That's where he's projected, 6th, 7th round. He can play on the edge. He sets the edge against the run with great anchor. Multi-positional. Maybe they're not looking at him as linebacker. But he's got the ability to. So that's one of Wake Martindale's big setups right there. He likes that versatility. Not a bendy pass rusher on the edge, but has enough strength and motor to disrupt. All right, pressure. Make him throw a bad pass. Get in his face. Constant forceful tackler between the numbers. Often stops runners in their tracks and does not allow them to fall forward for extra yardage. Physical presence at the point of contact. I like it. Someone who can tackle. Physically shows up in coverage when asked to press tight ends at the line of scrimmage or reroute players in the seams. Constantly does a good job slowing people down. Timing. Don't let that quarterback tight end get a timing. He's good at doing that. Doesn't draw a penalty. I like it. He's got sound zone coverage skills, so he can drop back into a zone. Understands how to stay on top of routes with good leverage and not allow himself to get beat for explosive plays. Plenty of examples of him staying high over wheels routes out of the backfield despite his speed. He goes on his instinctive player. Energy and motor are infectious. Okay, so he's a hype dude, constantly looking to muck it up at the line of scrimmage or help rally to finish off tacklers. Plays to the whistle. So far, that's some pretty good stuff. Now we're going to get into the negatives of stuff that's going to have to be coached up. There's not much. A heavy clunker strider in space. All right. Might need some dancing skills to get some footwork down. Does not have the stand outside to sideline speed. Okay, that's no big deal if he can anticipate. I'm not going to look for this guy to chase down, but I'm going to look for this guy to contain the run, make a tackle on the run, make a solid thing on the run, and if Wing Martindale drops him into coverage, he's going to be in that zone ready to defend that area. He's going to know where to go. He's going to go do it. Tackling in the space can get dicey at times. It's always hard to tackle some of these shifty guys in space. So I'm taking that with a grain of salt. Much better tackler between the numbers and in more confined spaces. Yeah, he likes to get in there and mess it up. Man coverage, particularly against vertical routes, could cause issues. He does not have blazing speed. They said that already. So he's not going to be able to do that. But when you already have that in the report, you're not expecting that out of this guy. Does not have the speed to keep up step for step. Has to win in coverage with eyes and leverage. It looks like he's doing that, and he's learning how to do that finally. And you know what? We might have the coaches to bring the best out of this kid. If they can get him to improve a little bit in his coverage, big upside. I like it, Mr. Shane. I like it, Mr. Shane. And finally, we're gonna end it off here with a little Cincinnati. This is off their home webpage. And this is just his college career for the year. He was a Dick Butkus Award finalist and first-team All-AAC selection who proved to be one of the nation's top linebackers during his senior season. Selected for the recent Senior Bowl, finished with 5th in the ACC with 102 tackles, 11.5 tackles for a loss, and added 4.5 sacks, an interception, 2 pass breakups, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 more recoveries. He's around the ball. He's making plays. Got in on a sack in each of the first 5 games. Okay, I like that aggressiveness. He's not going to let people try to outdo him. He wants to be the big dog. Oh, where at a 4.5. Got in on a sack 5 games. Totaled 9 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for a loss and a win at Indiana. He finished with 6 tackles and half a sack at Notre Dame. Good lineman. Tallied a season-high 14 tackles, including 1 tackle for a loss at Navy. Okay. Had a 10-tackle performance versus Tulsa. He finished with 7 tackles and 1 tackle for a loss at UCF. Finished with 4 stops, 1.5 tackles for a loss, and an interception at East Carolina. Kept the regular season with 9 tackles against Houston in the AAC championship game and led UC with 10 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 sack versus number 1 Alabama in college football playoff. Let me read that again. He led the University of Cincinnati with 10 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss, and 1 sack versus number 1 Alabama. You got to be good to get a sack against those guys. You got to be really good to get a tackle for a loss. A damn good game. He gained 100 pounds since high school, which I said earlier, where he was a safety and wide receiver before beginning his collegiate career at UConn. Okay, I was wrong on that. It was wide receiver and safety, not running back. Was a roommate with current UC offensive lineman Tunsil, first Bearcat, for Buckus Award since Alex Gordon. Played 38 games for the Bearcats, totaling 195 tackles, 20 and a half tackles for a loss, and 7 sacks. I can see why the Giants are looking at him. I can see why they grabbed him in the 6th. This kid wasn't going to stick around until the 7th round. That just wasn't going to happen. Kid's a baller. This kid's a player. Look at him right now, just standing there flexing. He's got a dream. He's going to achieve it. He doesn't have the athleticism to get by on just talent alone. He's had to work for everything. And he ain't going to stop working. I like that attitude. Those are the types of guys that Shane's going to draft. These are the types of guys that Shane's going to look at. High upside, high motor. Don't have to be the most athletic person, but you heard it here. You know, he does get into the spots he needs to, even though he's not blazing fast. You know, and here's the thing. He could probably pick up a little bit of speed if he wasn't so tight in the hips. If he wasn't such a clunker, he's got to learn how to run. You got to learn how to walk before you learn how to run. So, like I said, maybe some dancing lessons. Get light on his feet. You know, walk a little lighter. Pick up 0.2 of a second. In the NFL, 0.2 of a second is a lifetime. We all know that. We judge these guys by how fast they can run, how high they can jump, how far they can leap. That's what these guys are, just pure athletes. And when you see a guy like this that's doing it from the heart, this is a guy I'm glad to be calling a New York Giant. This is a guy I'm glad he's on the team. That he might not be a leader in the clubhouse, but he's going to be a leader to other guys on just how, you know, what it's going to take to get to the next level, because he's going to do the damnedest to make sure that he's the guy that you all got to pass. That's the feeling I'm getting when I'm reading these articles off of this kid. I love the pick. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait to see him on the field. I cannot wait for practice to start. Preseason, please get here. But that's for this edition of Know Your Giant. If you like this, please please subscribe. Ring that bell, get notified. I sure would appreciate it. On the road to 400. Almost there. I'm at 387. I want to thank everybody for watching. Take a time out of your day. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a comment. If you didn't enjoy this, if you just hate the Giants, leave that comment too. I want to know everybody's aspect of the video. You got an insight for a different video? Let me know down below. And as always, as the third member of the Big Blue Crew, I want to thank y'all. Peace!